This would be something. Let's start in sitting. Find a comfortable seat. Use a blanket, use a pillow. Good morning, Celine. Nice you're back. I hope you're well. There is an excitement happening when people hear your name. Find a long spine, resting your shoulders, hands on your knees or in front of your belly, closing your eyes. Make your last adjustment for a few moments to sit in stillness. The absence of outer movement, helping you to connect deeper to yourself, closer to yourself. And very often it's like, in meditation, should I sit in stillness? Should I avoid movements? It's not so much about the shoulds. When you feel the benefits of when you stay still and your body, your sensations, your mind starts to learn how it feels to be with discomfort, how it feels when it's not really the way you want, how it feels when you kind of need to stay in and surrender to something it's bigger than you. This is why it is recommended to take a time and do not follow this movement of, I need to move this, I need to move that, my neck is stiff, my knee is hurting, oh no, I'm not sitting really in a perfect position, I need to move. Learning to stay in this moment the way it is. Learning, giving you more flexibility in your daily life. There is discomfort and it's not all the way life unfolding the way you want, the way I want, the way we want. Life unfolds in some moments in a very unexpected way. And suddenly you are faced with difficulties, with discomfort, with pain. Can you lean into what is, even it's a bit painful? Even it's really not the way you want. This knee is hurting, or this shoulder wants to move, or this neck needs to crack. Can you stay observing? Can you stay and settling in? Can you surrender to this moment? With a quiet mind, with an open heart. And the difference from surrender and giving up is you stay aware, you stay awake. Giving up is leaving home. Giving up is kind of, I'm not here anymore. So stay as close as you can. Nothing to give up. Hanging in. Be present. And one more step is surrender. To find this yes in your heart, in your being. We are so used to have this, no, 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 I don't want, I need this, I want this. Defining goals, defining destinations, defining it all. Which is not wrong at all, it's beautiful. And we are missing out this moment of deeply surrendering. This moment where you can say simply, yes. And maybe you want to try it in your mind. Even there is discomfort, there is dislike. It's not the way you want, expect it. Maybe you just want to try to say yes. And feeling this resistance, I don't want to say yes. And feeling this hesitation, say yes to it all. And be aware what happens. You start slowly deepening your breath, focusing 2-3 centimeters below your belly button, letting your belly rise, your chest rise with you fully inhaling, filling up the backside of your lungs. And with your exhaling, sucking your belly in towards your spine, gently up towards you. With your inhaling, filling your belly, filling your chest, filling your backside of your lungs. And with your exhaling, you want to create a sound like an S, like follow your breath, inhaling fully, fully, fully. Exhaling with an S. And taking 3 more rounds in your own pace. Entering your natural breath. Maybe you can feel a shift in your awareness, in your mind, your sensations. Be aware of all what is. And maybe you want to take this practice of simply saying yes. Nothing more, nothing less, to all these moments of struggle, of bliss. Finding this space in your heart. Bring your arms on your side, sweep your arms over your head with your inhaling. Exhaling, arms on your side, lifting your shoulders with your next inhaling, turning them forward, back, down. One more time, forward, back, and down, and one more time, forward, back, and down. Bring your arms on your side, sweep your arms over your head. Exhaling your arms on your side, making a fist point with your thumb. Stretching out your arms with your exhaling, turning your shoulders forward and down, and your thumbs coming towards the floor. Inhaling, rolling your shoulders up, thumbs behind. Exhaling. Inhaling. If you can give yourself a massage in your shoulder sockets. Exhale. One more time. Exhale. Inhaling, opening your palms of your hands and bring them facing forward, rounding your spine while your hands meeting in front of you. Inhaling as if you can, opening with your arms, your chest arching forward. Exhaling, round. Inhaling, arching. Exhaling, round. One more time, inhale. Exhaling, rounding, interlacing your fingers, point with your index finger and bring your arms over your head, releasing your shoulders and find a nice little no-no in your neck. Shoulders releasing, Salome letting your shoulders release a bit. Yes, and yes, yes. Bring your head back in your neutral, opening your hands behind the back of your skull, closing your elbows, chin meeting your sternum, the weight of your arms helping you to release this weight on your shoulders, on your neck. Stay with your head where it is. Bring your hands in front of your face with your eyes closed. Feel the warmth of your hands, and with your hands, bring your head back into your neutral. Now strength in your neck, releasing your arms along your body, a nice little gentle touch to say good morning to this body along your legs, arms on your side, sweep your arms over your head with your inhaling, turning to your right side, right hand behind your spine, left hand in line, left hand outside. Your right knee gazing over your shoulder. Good morning, Charlotte. Nice you are here. Good morning, Anna. Good morning, Mama and Papa. Inhaling, coming back with your arms in your neutral, rising in your spine, shoulders releasing, turning to your left side, right hand outside. And Samira, see that you do not lean back. Come and tight. Yes, this is it. Breath. Stay with your left arm where it is, with your right arm reaching towards your left side. And then as a big, big circle, you bring your right arm into your back, both hands in line with your spine, gaze towards the ceiling. Staying here, or maybe you can lifting your seat, opening up your whole front side. Knees down, Odile, yes, breath. Exhaling, planting your seat back onto the floor, walking your arms forward. Stay on your fingertips, long spine, or you're folding forward. Walking your arms towards your left side. Plant your left hand onto the floor. Bring your right hand under your right shoulder. And you want to opening your chest a tiny bit. So your left arm stays long. Your right hand under your shoulder. Gaze towards the ceiling. Opening your chest. Exhaling, releasing and walking your hands towards your right side. Both hands first pressing into the floor, and then you stay with your right arm nice and long. Your left hand under your shoulder, opening your chest. Find a sweet little twisting here. Exhaling, folding forward and walking your hands back into your neutral. Help with your hands, closing your knees, plant your feet onto the floor, push all away what you're sitting on, and letting your knees floating to one side and to the other side. Feet onto the floor, feel this movement, soles of your feet, heels, toes. Come onto your seat, plant your feet onto the floor, and then you're bending your right knee, opening your right hip and plant your right foot on top of your left knee. Maybe your foot needs to float away a tiny bit more. You want to stay straight in your spine, hands onto the floor, and the closer you move your seat towards your left heel, the more you're helping yourself to stretching out in your hip. Breath. Rolling back your shoulder. Breath. Maybe you want to shuffling forward a tiny bit more closer towards your left heel to give yourself even more a stretching here. And you're releasing your right foot onto the floor, shuffling back so you have a bit more space for your left foot on top of your right knee. The further your right foot is away, the easier it is for your muscles and your ligaments in your left hip. So maybe you start with still far away, and then you're shuffling forward a tiny bit, helping with your hands. And maybe you can move forward a tiny bit more. And maybe a tiny bit more. Inhaling, releasing your foot onto the floor, your hands behind, fingers pointing towards your heels, pressing your feet into the floor and your hands into the floor, lifting your seat. Feet hip width apart, shoulders rolling back,
and down, lifting your right knee. Plant your right foot on top of your left, lifting your hips a tiny bit higher. Exhaling, planting your foot back onto the floor, sliding behind, between your arms, sliding through, plant your feet back onto the floor, lifting your hips. Stay, or you're bending your left knee, plant your left foot on top of your right, lifting your hips. Breathe, smiling in your heart. Can you surrender to this? Breathe, lifting your hips a tiny bit higher. Exhaling, planting your foot back onto the floor, sliding through arms and planting your seat with your legs nice and long. Inhaling your arms. Exhaling, as if you can lasso your feet, you're folding forward. Inhaling along your legs, as if you can give yourself internally a massage along your legs, over your head, folding forward. Inhaling. Exhaling, refreshing yourselves. Inhaling. Exhaling. Exhaling. One more time. And you stay. Exhaling, releasing, letting go all. So you're softly, gently releasing forward, surrender with your breath. Freshly renewed, folding forward. Staying here, 3 more deep, long breaths. And can you feel with your gravity, when you're letting go this resisting, when you're simply saying yes and softening in, even there is discomfort, you're meeting, maybe your mind tells you pain, saying yes, surrender. Inhaling gently, bring some energy back into your legs, rolling up your spine, vertebra for vertebra, bending your knees and swing your knees under you. Find your tabletop, hands under your shoulders, knees hip width apart, spreading your fingers wide and taking a couple of cat-cow breathing, gazing forward, rounding your spine. Inhaling, gazing forward. Exhaling, rounding your spine. Inhaling, gazing forward, shoulders rolling back and down. Inhaling, gazing forward, curl your toes under, lift your knees only 2-3 centimeters, strengthening in your belly. Breathe. And from here, you stay with your knees really close to your mat and you start walking behind into your back. So you wanna crawling back and you wanna crawling forward a tiny bit, finding this movement, your knees staying very close to your mat, walking forward towards the top of your mat with small steps, and you're walking back. One more time. And you want to walking forward to your original part, releasing your knees, your toes flow in your child pose. Forehead meeting the floor, surrender, activity, passivity meeting. in your being. Child pose, always available whenever you need to integrate, when you need to rest. Finding this balance of where do you challenge yourself and where do you over-challenge yourself. Being kind, not lazy, being challenging, not rigid. It's one of the most difficult parts. Pacing yourself, pacing your energy. Plant your hands onto the floor, bring your shoulders over your hands, your knees, under your hips, gazing forward with your inhaling. Curl your toes, lift your seat, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Fingers spreading wide. Shoulders rolling back, soft in your face. Walking your feet. Inhaling, bending your knees, coming back onto your tabletop, releasing your toes down onto your elbows. Elbows under your shoulders, spreading your fingers wide. Gaze between your arms, curl your toes, lift your seat in your forearm dog. Breath, releasing your neck with your inhaling, gaze forward, seeing your fingers. Exhaling, releasing your neck and gaze towards your belly button. Inhaling, gazing forward. Exhaling towards your belly button. One more time. Inhaling, gazing forward. Exhaling, belly button. Bend your knees. Releasing your seat, interlacing your fingers, making a fist and pushing your shoulders your elbows away from you while you're pushing your seat, stretching out your arms. Rooting down from your elbows, lifting your hands behind the back of your skull. Nice little stretch in your inhaling, planting your fist back onto the floor. Stay with your fist. Come onto your forearms and curling your toes under, lifting your seat. And we want to take a few dolphins. So with your next inhaling, you bring your heart between your arms. Exhaling, lifting your seat. In a down dog. Inhaling, coming forward, pushing with your heels, heart between your arms. Exhaling, lifting your seat. Inhaling. Exhaling, lifting your seat. Inhaling, come on, stay in, deepening your breath. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling, lifting your seat 2 more times. Inhaling. Exhaling, lifting your seat. Inhaling. Stay, breathe, hold your breath, hold your chest between your arms, holding, breathe. Exhaling, releasing belly button, pubic bone coming onto the floor, opening your arms like a T towards your side, walking your feet together, breathe. Planting your fingertips onto the floor, big toes touching, belly, pubic bone pressing into the floor, lifting your heart
rolling back your shoulders, smiling in your heart. Exhaling, come down onto the floor, bring your right hand under your shoulder, turning towards your left side, gaze over your right shoulder, stacking your both of your feet, lengthening your legs first. Maybe you have a bit more space, you're bending your upper knee, planting your foot behind your thigh, and gaze over your shoulder. Breathe. Maybe you still have more space. Can you hear again? Very good. Sorry, I was rolling onto the microphone and it turned itself off. Great. So I hope you still got to find this wonderful stretch. And slowly, 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 everyone relax. Should be back easily, hopefully. Cool. Thank you. Inhaling slowly, rolling back onto your belly. Arms one more time, nice and long. Fingertips, big toes touching, lifting your chest and lifting your legs, your thighs, fingertips pressing into the floor. Long neck, exhaling, planting your hands under your shoulders, curling your toes, lift your seat in your downward facing dog, spreading these fingers wide, stretching out your lower back. So you wanna walking with your feet, walking breath. And like we've done with your knees, you wanna crawling forward, becoming an animal, walking towards the front of your mat, rolling with your shoulders, with your hips, and you wanna walk back
onto the backside of your mat and take this really very joyful, enjoying every little movement your body is taking to walking back. And you wanna coming one more time, walking forward. What animal you really enjoy to be? A lion, a panther, an elephant, an ant. Exhaling, bending your knees, flow into your child pose, releasing for one moment, forehead meeting the floor. Plant your hands back onto the floor, gazing between your arms. Curl your toes under, lifting your seat. Downward facing dog. Step your feet together. Your right leg square with your hips towards the ceiling. Stay for 2 breaths. Bending your knee towards your chest and open your hip towards your right side. Plant your right foot on top of your left knee. Breathe. Exhaling, releasing your right foot, lifting your left knee towards the ceiling, staying square with your hips. Take 2 breaths. Bend your knee towards your chest, opening your hip. Your knee floats towards your left side. Your left foot on top of your right thigh, over your right knee. Exhaling, releasing. Inhaling, come into your high plank. Exhaling, your knees. Chin, chest, meeting the floor, staying here for one moment, observing your shoulders, observing your chest, your elbows, your seat pushing up. Breathe. Inhaling, pushing with your toes, lifting your heart and your mini cobra. Exhaling, curling your toes, lifting your seat, your shoulders, staying down, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, gaze between your hands. You want to come with your feet on the outside of your hands, opening your feet 45 degrees. Stay high when your hips are a tiny bit tender, or you're lowering down your seat, coming with your elbows between your legs, your hands in front of your chest. Breathe. Rounding back your shoulders, Samira David. Long neck, long spine. Breathe. With your next inhaling, reaching forward from your arms, coming halfway, creating a table. Bring your feet parallel, lifting from your heart. Stay bending your knees, and with your inhaling, lifting up, right hand, grabbing your left wrist, releasing towards your side. Inhaling back into your neutral, bending your knees, long spine. Opening your feet, either you stay high or you're lowering in between. Breath. Breath. Inhaling, reaching forward, parallel your feet, lifting halfway, lengthening, left hand grabbing right wrist, releasing towards the side. Inhaling, halfway, table, opening your feet, stay high or lowering down, rounding back your shoulders. One more round, breathe, inhaling, halfway, parallel your feet, lifting, and you stay, right hand, left wrist, exhale, inhaling, halfway, folding forward, opening your feet, releasing in between. Last round, inhaling, parallel your feet, lifting up, stay, right hand, inhaling in your neutral, bending your knee, table, stay. And then from here, you're folding forward in your Uttanasana, walking one hip to one side and the other hip to the other side, pressing both feet evenly into the floor while you're bending one knee, the opposite knee, long neck, long spine. Inhaling, gazing forward and come in your standing, arms over your head, prayer in front of your chest, plant your feet together, arms on your sides, sweep your arms over your head, interlacing your fingers, lifting your heels, balancing on your balls of your feet. Breath. Opening, turning towards your right side, stay with your hands or you're opening your arms. Breathe, balancing on your balls of your feet. Breath. Inhaling, floating back into your neutral and turning towards your left side with your belly button and your balancing. Breathe. Opening your arms. Breath. Inhaling back into your neutral, releasing your heels down, releasing your arms, sweep your arms over your head with your inhaling, exhaling, folding forward, stepping your right foot back in along runner's lunge, gazing forward, exhale, step back, downward facing dog, inhaling, high plank, exhaling, knees, chin, chest, or chaturanga, dandasana, inhaling in your upward facing dog, exhaling, downward facing dog, stay, breathe, spreading your fingers wide, rounding back your shoulders, liberating your neck, your heels growing heavy, even your knees are bent. Breathe. Breath. Breath. Step your feet together, lift your right leg towards the ceiling, exhaling. Step your right foot between your hands in your long runner's lunge, shoulders rolling back, gazing forward lightly, meeting your left with your right in front, inhaling halfway, folding forward with your exhaling, one breath standing, inhaling. Exhale, bring your prayer in front of your chest, releasing your arms, Tadasana, inhaling, folding forward, release one dive forward. Can you create more space in your inner groin? Step your left foot back, long runner's lunge, fingers opening your chest, exhaling in your downward facing dog, inhaling high plank, exhaling knees, chin, chest, or chaturanga. When you take chaturanga, making sure you're pushing with your heels And then from here, you gazing forward from your chest, pushing with your toes, lifting your heart. Exhaling, rolling over your toes, downward facing dog. Stay in your down dog, balancing your energies. Breathe. Breath. Breath. Spreading these fingers wide, index finger and thumb on the meet. Raise, step your feet together, lift your left leg towards the ceiling with your inhale. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands, long runners lunge, inhaling. Exhaling lightly, stepping both feet, inhaling halfway, folding forward with your exhaling. One breath in your standing. Exhale, bring your prayer in front of your chest, releasing your arms, inhaling, sweep your arms, interlacing your fingers. You want to lifting your heels one more time, balancing, breathe, turning to your right side, opening your arms, breathe, spreading your arms wide, breathe, balancing. Bring your right arm, finding a bind, lifting your left arm. Breathe and gaze over your shoulder. Breathe. Breathe. Inhaling, spreading your arms, planting your hands in front of your chest, turning in your center, lifting your arms over your head, turning to your left side, and you're opening your arms. Breathe, spreading your arms wide, lifting your heels, balancing. Find your inner alignment, releasing your arm, finding a bind, and lifting your front arm. Maybe you can gaze towards the floor, seeing your heels lifted. Inhaling, spreading your arms, plant your hands back in front of your chest, turning back in your neutral, releasing your heels, lifting your toes, spreading your toes wide, and releasing your toes, arms on your side. Sweep your arms over your head. Exhaling, folding forward, bending your knees, gaze forward. Maybe you want to try jumping back. So you're lifting your heels. You want to stay gazing forward while you're pressing your hands into the floor. People who do not want jumping back, please walking back. When you want to jumping back, you need to stay gazing forward, that you can hold yourself in your Chaturanga. Dandasana, inhaling, releasing belly button, pubic bone, big toes touching, rolling back your shoulders. Breathe, pulling from your hand towards your chest, lifting your chest a tiny bit higher. Breathe. Exhaling, curling your toes downward, facing dog. Breathe. Lift your right leg towards the ceiling. Bend your knee towards your chest. Open your right knee towards your right side. What we've done before. Plant your right foot on top of your left knee. Breathe. Breathe. Stay with your leg. Inhaling, come into your high plank. Plant your left foot in front of your face and turning your knee towards your side. Plant your foot. This is a nice way to come and start lifting from on your side plank. Grabbing your toe with your finger, and maybe you can reach forward with your leg towards the side, and then you can lifting your leg. This is the next steps. Beautiful. Inhaling, exhaling, releasing, planting your hand back onto the floor, lifting your seat in your down dog. Shaking with your neck. Breathe. Child pose, always available. Taking one more vinyasa of your choice. Inhaling, exhaling, knees, chin, chest, chaturanga, Dandasana. Breathe. And let's meet in downward facing dog. Breathe. Are you still with me, peeps? Breathe. Celine, observe your elbows. Do not fall into your elbows, spreading your fingers wide. Breathe. So you want to lifting your left leg towards the ceiling with your inhaling. Bend your knee towards your chest. Bring your foot on top of your thigh, over your knee. Breathe. Inhaling, coming in your high plank. Plant your hand in front of your face, turning to one side. Breathe. And then from here, you start trying, grabbing with your finger, your toes. You can push your legs just towards the side. This is a tiny bit easier. And then maybe eventually you can lifting up towards the ceiling, opening up completely. That's the way you can learn coming into the side plank with your leg open. Inhaling, slowly coming back, lifting your seat in your down dog. Stay, breathe. I know it's a tiny bit of a challenge, but it's a beautiful way to come into your side plank and learning how you can lifting your leg, bending your knee, gaze between your hands, hopping, stepping, walking forward. Inhaling, coming halfway, folding forward. In your exhaling, one breath standing, inhaling. Exhale, bring your prayer in front of your chest. Take your moment. Balancing your energies. Breathe. Release your arms, sweep your arms over your head with your inhaling. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Let your arms sliding along, your feet lifting up, rounding back your shoulders. Stay bending your knees. Exhaling, folding forward, Uttanasana, the beautiful pose of surrender. Bend your knees, step your right foot back, Trikonasana, open your right hip towards the side so you find your long spine, lifting your right arm towards the ceiling. Both legs strong, long, come a tiny bit higher that you can open. Yes. With your next inhaling, as if there is somebody pulling you up, come in your standing, bring your hands on your hips, parallel your feet, folding forward, releasing your arms under your shoulders, long spine, long legs. Maybe you stay on your fingertips. Breathe. And then you want to start softening in your right knee, your arms swinging towards your right side, lengthening your left leg. And you're softening your left knee, pushing with your left foot into the floor, stretching out your right leg, swinging your arms towards your left side. And let yourself become very soft in your hips, swinging with your arms. And you're pressing one foot and the opposite side, you're swinging with your hips, feeling this movement in your hips. long neck, long spine. Breathe and let it become quite nice and rhythmic, as if you are seaweed deep down in the ocean, and the waves getting a tiny bit stronger, a bit more energetic, to release tension in your hips, in your shoulders, in your spine. Breath. Swinging your legs towards your left side. Come back in your long runner's lunge. Inhaling, gazing forward. Exhale, step back in your downward facing dog. Take a vinyasa of your choice. Inhaling in your high plank. Exhaling, knees, chin, chest, elbows glued to your body. Sneaking forward with your inhaling. Exhaling in your downward facing dog. Breath. Can you feel this more freedom in your hips, in your belly? Breath. Breath. Bend your knees, gaze between your hands, hopping, stepping, walking forward between your hands. Inhaling, coming halfway, folding forward, Uttanasana. Arms along your legs, gazing forward, folding your knees, rolling back your shoulders. Breath. Liberating your neck, your throat nice and open. Breath. Exhaling, folding forward. Uttanasana, surrender. Breath. Bend your knees, step your left foot back, open it 45 degrees, Trikonasana, left hand on your left hip, right arm inside, breathe. Long spine, breathe, both legs stay long. Breath. Nourish your body with your breath. Begin a long neck. Do not let your head hang. Breathe, pushing your top of your head forward. This is it. This is it. Breathe. And as if there is somebody pulling you up, come in your standing parallel. Your feet, hands on your hips, folding forward, staying halfway. Breathe, pressing your feet into the floor, lengthening your spine, opening your arms towards the side, index finger and thumb wanna meet. Breathe, stay. Pushing your seat, your legs nice and strong. Lowering down from your left arm, lifting your right arm. Breathe. Inhaling, coming back, both arms long, long spine. Breathe, both feet pressing into the floor, outer edges of your feet, inner arches lifting. Lowering down your left arm, lifting your right. Breathe. You don't need to find the floor with your hand. You can spread in your arms. Breathe. Inhaling, opening your arms, lengthening your spine. Breath. Exhaling, releasing your arms, and you want to play one more time to softening in your hips, letting your arms swinging, strong legs, strong feet, sliding from one side to the other side, feeling this movement in your hips. Swinging your arms towards your right foot, come into your long runner's lunge, gazing forward, stepping back in your downward facing dog. Spread your fingers, inhaling high plank. Exhaling, knees, chin, chest, Chaturanga, Dandasana. Please feel your variation. Exhaling in your downward facing dog. Regina, observe your elbows. Celine, observing elbows. Breathe. Lifting your seat, long spine. Breathe, pushing your seat up a tiny bit more than yellow. Softening in your elbows, spreading your fingers, rolling back your shoulders. Breathe. Inhaling, bending your knees, come back in your table, releasing your elbows under your shoulders, spreading your fingers wide. People who have a block available at home or in this room, you can grabbing a block and bring it between your hands. So you want to find this L shape and you bring your block in between. If you don't have a block, don't worry, it's not that important. You want to grabbing this block and you're planting your hands. It's just a tiny bit more helpful that your hands are not sliding away. You want to come curling your toes under, lifting your seat in your down dog. And please stay here when this is good enough. And when you have a block, making sure you're fixing the block with your hands. Gaze with your chest between your arms, walking your feet a tiny bit closer. And from here, you want to try jumping up, coming into your forearm inversion, jumping up 3 times with your right, jumping up 3 times with your left. Come on, try it. You want to gazing between your arms. Just let yourself jumping up 3 times. Beautiful. Breathe. And when you are ready, you're releasing in your child pose. Bring your arms around forehead, meeting the floor, softening in your shoulders. Very often we are just leaving out this a tiny bit more challenging asanas because we think, oh, it's too difficult. It is more about finding your breath, finding your concentration, and finding your courage and your strength, surrendering in your being is challenging yourself and finding new beginnings, new ways, new styles. When we keep on working on this limited, fixed path we create in our mind, we never will learn something new. Tucking in your tailbone, rolling up your spine, vertebra for vertebra, shoulders rolling back and down, sitting on one side, slowing down, Paschimottanasana, pushing with your hands, your flesh towards the side. Remember folding in your knees when you need. Arms over your head with your inhaling, folding forward, exhaling. Inhaling, gaze forward, exhaling back in your sitting, bending your right knee, Shavasana, your right foot inside of your thigh, making sure you stay square with your hips. You do not want to come in between your legs. So maybe you want to push with your hand, your left hip back, that you stay in front with your hips. Inhaling, arms folding forward. If this is difficult, you stay with your right hand on your thigh, helping to press your thigh down. Bring your left hand close to your hips. And staying here, bring your hand a tiny bit more closer to your hip on your side, that you help yourself lift. This is it, what I'm looking for. Breathe. When you bring your hand behind, you have the tendency to leaning back. You want to stay. And maybe there is a tiny bit more space. You can help yourself folding forward. Don't worry, all good like this. Breathe. Some people have a bit more flexible body. What to do? Some people grow with a bit more tight body. What to do? Inhaling, lifting yourself up. Exhaling, your hand under your knee, closing your legs, bending your left knee, opening your left hip. Arms on your side, or you're inhaling, folding forward. Releasing your left knee towards the floor. Square in your hips. Odile, you're opening a tiny bit more towards the side. Bring your chest. This is it. Breathe. Wonderful. Breathe. Bow shoulders. Breathe. When you practice for longer and you grow a bit older, your body gets more tender. And you feel when you're kind of overstretching. Breathe. Inhaling, gazing forward, exhaling, coming into your sitting, opening both legs towards the side. Bring your hands behind your seat, opening your chest. Breathe. For some people, this is really good enough. And you stay here, helping with your fingers, lifting your seat, lifting yourself up. So you do not want to fall in your lower back. Opening your chest. For some people, maybe you can bring your hands in front of you without curving. Lifting your chest. Maybe you can walk your arms a tiny bit further away, or you can grabbing your toes. I always like grabbing toes. This helps me to stay open in your chest. I do have this tendency to fall like this, and grabbing feet helps to stay open with a longer spine. And please be kind and gentle. It is super easy to hurt yourself here when you're pulling too much, when you're getting too rigid in your ligaments, in your muscles, too ambitious. With your next inhaling, you want to come back in your sitting, turning your torso, facing your right leg, lowering down from your left elbow on the inside of your left leg, making sure you stay down with your right hip. And then from here, maybe you can open your right arm towards the ceiling. You can stay here, or you reach with your right arm over your head. Maybe you can grabbing your toes, making sure you do not compensate in your shoulder, folding forward. You want to stay open, so you might want to just stay with your arm reaching instead of grabbing your toes. Inhaling your right arm back towards the ceiling, and you're floating back in your neutral, turning your torso, facing your left leg, and you're lowering down from your right arm inside your right elbow. Stay open. from your side. Your left hip is pressing down, left arm towards the ceiling. Stay, breathe, or you reach with your arm over your head. Breathe. 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 Inhaling, bring your arm back in towards the ceiling. Sitting back. Help with your hands under your knees, closing your legs, and you're releasing. One knee floats to the center, the other knee floats towards the center. Preparing for your Shavasana. If you already want to put a jumper or you want to put your socks shuffling forward on the first 3/4 of your mat, reaching forward from your arms, exhaling, pressing your feet into the floor, rolling back onto your sacrum, inhaling, coming back in your sitting, exhaling. One more time, and this time lowering down a tiny bit more, inhaling, coming back in your sitting, and try to make this very gentle. So you do not want to pull and coming up with a kind of oops. Try to make this very gentle. Exhaling, rolling back down a tiny bit lower between your shoulder blades. Inhaling, pressing your feet, and from here, wonderful, sitting up. Exhaling, rolling back down. Let your arms floating over your head. You want to come back up one more time. Arms gazing between your arms, and very, 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 very gentle. Use the strength in your eyes, reaching from your heart. Exhaling, lowering back. Arms over your head, stretching out your legs. Give yourself a bit of a stretching, as if you can massage yourself into your last pose, into your Shavasana. You're bending your knees, hugging your knees towards your chest. Squeeze your body, make yourself nice and small. And from here, you unfolding, come in your Shavasana, your legs nice and long. Arms next to your body, taking your last adjustments, a blanket, socks, a jumper, whatever you need. Letting go, find your natural breath. Your toes floating to the side, your thighs releasing tension. So your sacrum resting, your lower organs releasing. Let go, your belly softening. Your chest, your rib cage. Your neck wanna be nice and long. Your chin gentle towards your sternum, that you have a nice long neck. You do not want to close your throat, shortening your 5th chakra. So making sure your neck is free, your eyes are closed, turning your eyes in. Swallow to liberate any tension in throat. We have so many difficulties in throat, in our 5th chakra, the way we communicate, the way we expressing ourselves. So giving yourself softness and sweetness and space. Shoulders releasing.
Your fingers growing very gentle, very soft. Maybe they are curling in a tiny bit. Dear You by Kaveri Patel. Dear you, you who always have so many things to do, so many places to be, your mind spinning like fan blades at high speed, each moment always a blur because you're never still. I know you are tired. I also know it's not your fault. The constant brain buzz is like a swarm of bees threatening to sting if you close your eyes. You've forgotten something again. You need to prepare for that or else. You should have done that differently. What if you closed your eyes? Would the world fall apart without you? Or would your mind become the open sky, flock of thoughts flying across the sunrise as you just watched and smiled? Surrender seems very difficult to mind. If you allow yourself to close your eyes and surrender in this moment, there will be this yes just appearing. And slowly and gently reconnecting to your breath. Reconnect to your sensations. Letting your breath become fuller and stronger and feeling this energy in your toes, in your fingers. It can move to spontaneous movement like a stretching or a touching. And if you feel ready, you can folding in your knees towards your chest, flow to one of your favorite side. We tend to flow towards right side to create a bit more space in the side where your heart is on your left side and activate your right side, the bit more active part. Press your hand into the floor, come into a comfortable seat. Plant your hands in Anjali Mudra in front of your chest and with your eyes closed. Maybe you can discover more and more, the more you surrender, the more this natural yes, this willingness to meet all what there is appearing in your being, effortless. And let's finish with one deep, long sounding taking a comfortable inhaling. Thank you for practicing yoga with me this morning. Have a beautiful Sunday. Namaste.